Soft Matter. So Soft Matter is a movie about some scientists who have decided to stay in a long abandoned hospital and continue their experiments on, I'm going to guess it's people, on trying to find immortality. So they've been doing gene splicing to do this, where they've been taking genes from sea creatures like octopus and jellyfish in order to try and find immortality, and they're pretty much obsessed with doing this. Now, through them doing gene splicing, they've then incurred the wrath of a sea queen who thinks that she's the only creature that's allowed to grant immortality. So she comes back, firstly in the form of a mop bucket, and I'm not giving too much away here, to basically tell them not to do that. Along with this storyline, you also have some teenagers in this movie who are aspiring artists who decide to go into this, what they think is an abandoned building, and basically paint it. And their friends, who I'm going to guess are aspiring, think of themselves as antique and artist dealers, come in to view the artwork. And that's the two storylines that are kind of splicing together in this. So overall, the movie's a little strange. That's the easiest way to kind of explain it. I think you can tell it's quite low budget, because there's parts of the movie where it goes off into kind of like animation, rather than actual, and it's quite low budget animation, like almost like card cut out on top of things, which is fine, because I like when people have actually had to use a bit of imagination to do stuff. And the actual like Queen of the Sea effects, like creature effects, is actually really pretty good in this. And some of the other creatures you could tell are really low budget, as I said, but again, absolutely fine when you can see that somebody's put their imagination into it. The storyline, on the other hand, is really strange. I mean, you've got these two crazy scientists, and their characters are actually okay, but the teenagers, I didn't really bond with them. I found it really difficult to actually care if any of them survived or lived or died, and I don't know if it was intentional. And I think this is a running theme through this movie, is that the characters are a little bit hammy is really the only way to describe them, and it seems to be almost intentional that they were made that way. And I found it difficult to actually care whether any of them lived or died, and I don't actually know whether that was whether the makers of this movie intentionally made it so that you didn't want any of the characters to survive. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. But you're kind of, I'm guessing, supposed to root for the main girl, who's this girl here, for whatever reason has a moustache drawn on the whole way through the movie, not just for this scene, the whole way through the film, who does break in to the hospital and then ends up having to fight back with one of the doctors against the creature as it comes to attack them. Overall, I mean, the movie was entertaining to watch. It felt like I was watching a trauma movie, but sort of like a lower budget trauma movie. I don't think I would watch this film again. For me, it just didn't bond with me. It wasn't the type of film that I think I could overly watch. The humour didn't really mix with me either. It was enjoyable enough to watch it once, but I think there probably will be fans of it out there, because it is definitely a strange film. It's definitely a movie that I would say go and watch it, because it is not like a movie that you're ever going to see anywhere else. And I would recommend it purely and simply for that fact that if you're looking for somebody that's tried something different, then this is definitely the movie for you, because these guys went out there and have done something completely different. If I'm going to rate it, I would say that this movie is probably a 5.5 out of 10. But as I said, go and give it a go for yourself, and definitely let us know what you think of Soft Matter. Hopefully you liked this review. We are Deadly Dames Horror Extravaganza. You can always check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and hopefully all the links will be at the end of this video. As always, thank you for listening. Take care.